to show you how to create a basic smoky eye. This is a beautiful warm smoky eye, perfect for this time of year. Everyone can try this out. It's very easy, so let's get started. As always, we're going to start off the look with some eyeshadow primer. If you don't have eyeshadow primer, apply a little bit of your concealer and then setting powder over the top. It won't last as long as primer, but it will still make a great base. Now we're using warm eyeshadows for this. I'm using orangey tones. We have a light shade, which is about 1 shade lighter than my skin tone. We have our contour shade, which needs to be at least 1 shade darker than your skin tone. But for me, this is a lot darker than my skin because I want that smoky dark effect. And then we have a medium shade, so this is in between your light and your dark. This is what is often referred to as a transition shade, or as I like to call it, a mid-tone. And then we have this vibrant orange. This is going to be a great blending shade, and I like to refer to this as a fade shade. And you will also need 2 brushes, a pencil brush and a blending brush. If you don't have a pencil brush, you can always use a Q-tip or sponge tip applicator, but you do need to have a good blending brush if you want to do a smoky eye. So we are going to start off with the medium shade, which is the mid-tone or transition shade. And we're going to sweep this over the eye using our blending brush. So grab your blending brush, pick up a little bit of product, and we're going to start on the outer edge of the eye and work this over and back, slightly onto the lid and then into the crease of the eye. So we want the concentration to be right in that crease, bringing it slightly onto the lid as well, and then blending upwards towards the brows. So pick up a little bit of product, build this up as you go, making sure that every time you press the brush onto the lid, you're starting on the outer edge. Anywhere you put your brush down first will give you the most amount of product. So you want to start on the outer edge and then blend in. Now I want you to take your brush and I want you to lift your hand slightly higher so you're coming more at the face at a horizontal motion. This will keep your blend nice and low. So the higher your hand, the lower the blend. Also, you want to keep within these blending points. If you haven't seen it already, I did an in-depth video all about eyeshadow, which I will link in the description box and at the top of the screen. But for those of you who have already seen that, this is just a little reminder to keep within your points. Now we're going to take our dark shade and we're going to take that pencil brush. And as you can see, I've only coated the edge of one side of the brush because we're going to be stamping this onto the lash line. So I'm taking my hand, resting it on my cheek. So you want to keep this nice and low right by the lashes, keeping your eyes slightly downwards and looking in a mirror. And you want to stamp this along your lash line. Don't blend this up too high just yet, just really coat right by the lashes. You basically want to keep this dark shadow below the halfway point of the lid. Don't worry about blending just yet, just really pack on that shadow. So you should end up with something that looks like this. And then what we can do is take our brush, don't pick up any additional product, and just press and smudge to blur out this line so it slightly rises upwards and blends into nothing. Making sure to keep that really dark shade right at the lash line. Then we're going to take that orange shade. We're going to apply this using that blending brush. We're sweeping this right where the dark shade meets that mid-tone that we already applied. And what this will do is it will soften out everything and fade everything for you. That's why I like to refer to it as a fade shade. So I've only coated one side of the brush and I'm tilting slightly upwards so we're almost blending upwards into the crease, moving up towards the brow bone. But you can also go over the top of the contour that you applied and it will add a slightly different tone as well. But just keep that blending motion nice and smooth. Don't put too much pressure on the brush and don't use too much product either. A little goes a long way. Then finish off with your highlighter shade on that inner corner and underneath the brows. And there you go, a classic warm smoky eye. If there's any other looks that you'd like me to show you guys how to create, definitely let me know.